I ain't doing I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying what you saying. Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh, my God. Okay. Down. Oh, my fault. Oh, my God.
Wow, that really just happened. We're going to break that video down, give you our perspective of what we think happened in this video. But before that, this is a Shots Fired podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Kyle Schoberg. To my right, we got Mark Redlich. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time watching the show, we are two law enforcement professionals giving you an unbiased opinion on body cam breakdowns and a law enforcement podcast for everyone.
Hey, I don't know if you could see my breath, but I could see your breath a little bit.
Dude, that's because it's 54 degrees in our studio right now. So what you can't see on the other side of this camera is we are absolutely freezing right now. We're bearing it out. We got our polos on, but yes, it's freaking cold in here. And Mark, you sound a little nasally. You were out the last couple of days, called in sick. Are you still sick, dude?
I don't think I was ever sick. I just
You said you were. You said you were sick and you couldn't come to the studio the other day and record because you weren't feeling well.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't feeling well. And I was like, hey, Kyle, I don't want to come to the studio if I'm not feeling well. I don't want to get you sick. And this is Kyle's response. Oh, I don't care. I'll sit right next to you. I'm like, all right, let's go Sunday.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel good though. Thanks.
So I don't know if you guys watched the last episode, but we were talking about like Mark brought me in chow mein from Panda Express. It was absolutely disgusting. It was dry. Didn't even give me sauce. So this morning I got my own food on the way here.
Well, it's not even food what you got. That's disgusting.
Did you know what I got? Oh, I brought it in here.
Well, I saw it in a bag, and I was disappointed as soon as I saw it in the bag.
Freaking Mickey D's, baby.
Yeah, terrible.
Gosh, who doesn't love...
At least you didn't go through the drive-thru in a marked car. I appreciate that.
No, I still do that, but
yeah,
I don't even drive a marked car anymore.
Ridiculous.
However, what do you think about the McDonald's fish fillet?
Well, in comparison of all the fish fillets that's ever possible, that is the best.
They are pretty good.
Yeah,
Huh?
McDonald's does have a champion #1 award-winning, in my book, sandwich.
Fish fillet?
Yeah, fish fillet. There's no other fish sandwich out there that's that
It
good.
sounds disgusting too. Like eating fish from McDonald's just sounds gross to me, but it is pretty good. But that's actually not what I got today. I did only get McDonald's fries. McDonald's, I think, probably has, the best fries, dude. What, do you think so or no?
I'm going Chick-fil-A, their crisp cut. Their actual crisp. Yeah,
that's
those are
freaking
good.
bougie though, like Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah. No, it's faster drive-through. It's better. It's quality food. I like that.
I do. I don't. You're right. I don't look at Chick-fil-A though like a drive-through restaurant. So
no, it's totally different. I do remember calling you once, and I was like, "Kyle, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm in the drive-through. I'm getting ready to go to the gym." I'm like, "You're going to the gym in the drive-through? What are you getting?" And you're like, "I'm at KFC getting mashed potatoes before I go to the gym." I was like, "This guy's ridiculous." Unless it's a secret that you know that I don't know about, that is ridiculous.
do you know what my go-to now, like almost religiously before I go to the gym in the mornings? Do you remember where I go now?
Yeah.
Where?
It's the wing store.
No. Dude, Taco Bell.
Oh, jeez.
A bean and cheese burrito, no onion, no red sauce.
With cheese sauce.
And a side of nacho cheese sauce. And I freaking scarf one of those down almost every day before I go work out. I don't know what it is. It's like I got to get that little bean and cheese burrito before I work out.
It's your routine.
It's disgusting, actually.
If you didn't know, Kyle and I talk continuously throughout the day oftentimes. And since November 1st, that's Kyle's whole shift of Christmas spirit. Every time I call him, he's got Christmas music playing in the background. He was at work. I heard the police radio in the background and Christmas music playing. I was like, you're by yourself in your car. Dude, you're a happy guy. I love it.
I love Christmas. Undoubtedly my favorite holiday. In fact, next episode, we are going to be rocking ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
I've already got one picked out.
You actually might show up in a Grinch outfit, but you do you. I love Christmas, and I do play Christmas music during the holidays in my car.
Yeah. Well, the Grinch is part of Christmas.
Yeah. So there you go. You can be that. Hey, guys, real quick. Shieldbox sending us over another box here. It's a medical box, has all sorts of cool medical equipment inside, pouch, shears, gauze, all sorts of cool stuff. We're actually going to be doing a giveaway with this bad boy here. Drop a comment in this video. Doesn't matter what it is. Leave a comment and we will draw a random person from the comment section to win this box and we will ship it to you. So drop a comment below on this video. Let us know what you think and enter a chance to win this awesome medical box from Shieldbox. And if you guys want to go to shieldbox.com, all sorts of cool police, law enforcement, first responder equipment you can buy on there at a great price. All right. Should we jump into this video?
Yeah.
So here, ironically enough, Mark and I will throw videos back and forth to each other like, hey, like maybe we should do this video or whatever. We try to pick trending viral videos that are online because obviously people are interested in that. So he and I both sent each other this video, which means we're for once on the same page.
Yeah. Well, you're behind me because I sent it to you first.
That is true.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So this video happened December 2nd of this year, 2023. It comes out of the city of Reform in the state of Alabama, which is in Picken County. Just so we're completely on the same level, this is a video from a cell phone camera, and that is all that we have. The police department has not released a statement on this. We have not seen body camera or in-car camera video of this. It is only, and we are bringing this information only based off of what we're seeing in a 45-second cell phone video and an interview done by the person that was arrested in this video.
Yeah, so let's talk about what he was actually charged with before we get into it. So this individual, Micah Washington, was stopped by this officer, female officer, by herself. They were pulled over on the side of the road because they had a flat tire. And like you said, we don't know what happened, but at some point during this contact, something happened, and Micah was ultimately tased by the officer. One of the subjects that was with him fled on foot, and the other subject picked up a cell phone and started filming, which is where we'll pick up on. But he was ultimately arrested for being a felon in possession of a firearm, resisting and obstructing arrest, marijuana possession, an ex-felon, or I already said that, an ex-felon in possession of a firearm, drug trafficking, which ended up, I believe they've located fentanyl somewhere either in his car or on his possession. Yep. And so those were the charges that he was booked on. So now in this, there was a clip in the news interview where the girlfriend, I believe, says, hey, they were just pulled over on the side of the road. They were changing their tire. And then all of a sudden he just got tased and all this. Like, we know probably that not to be true, at least that something negative happened in this contact, and we don't know what it was. Let's watch the video and then talk about his statement after the fact, and then kind of why, from a law enforcement standpoint, like what's going on now with the investigation and why we haven't seen the officer's body cam, if she even had one, or in-dash camera.
Yep.
Stand up. Right there on the front of the car. Stay still.
I ain't doing I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, for? I'm not. Oh, my God.
Stop.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fault. Oh, my God.
Okay. So ironically enough, this town is called Reform. It's literally painted right there on the side of the patrol car. Like, and we're all this talk about police reform and all that stuff. I just thought that was just kind of like ironic in this whole thing. But okay, he's been tased, and in the video, you can see that it picks up with her grabbing him, and she's bringing him back to the patrol car and kind of like throws him onto the hood of the car. And she's clearly amped up right now. So that's why I think something happened to get her to the point of like, she's pissed off. She's amped up. She's obviously tased him already. She puts him on the hood of the car, and, you know, obviously at this point he is in handcuffs, and I would probably venture to say he's not much of a threat to her, if any, at this point. I mean, unless he started actively resisting her, which he's not. He then tells her that he has a firearm on him. She then grabs it and places it on the hood of her car, which is what we're looking at right now. I mean,
Yeah, it's interesting watching it because it is from a cell phone video. And when the camera turns on, you could see the car, a portion of the back of his car. The driver door is open. It has been raining, and everything's wet outside. He's laying in the roadway, and he's already been handcuffed, and you could kind of see what looks maybe like a tire on the left rear of the car. So we don't know exactly what happened, and hopefully we get to see the body camera or the in-car camera view, but it's odd to me because if it's raining and you're changing a tire, you're not going to have your driver door open. So I wonder if something happened. He tried to get in the car, or he was reaching for something, or not cooperative, or nonetheless. But she was supposedly, based on his statement, asking for his ID. So we don't know if he went in the car and it freaked her out, if she saw impression of a gun. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you're right. He is on the ground and he was tased for some reason. And yeah, she does walk him back. You could see the wires hanging from his back. He's a tall guy in comparison to her. He's clearly fit. She's probably fit. But what I noticed about it is he's cooperative. Like, he's walking, doing exactly what she's telling him to do. And then she like pushes him in the front of the car and like leans him over the hood of the car. And like, that's something I haven't seen since like the 70s. Like I've never done that to somebody that's already handcuffed and actually cooperative. That portion is just odd to me.
Yeah. Maybe it's a tactic. You know, we travel a lot and different agencies use different style tactics, and some are a little bit more, maybe more old school than others. But the part that like gets me is her attitude and her language towards him after the fact. I mean, she's like cussing at him. She's like, "You want it again?" And, you know, and then she drive stuns him, which is what you guys see here. So she's putting the taser to his back, and real quick, the wires look like are still attached to him, because you can see him in the video. If those probes are still in him and she drive stuns him like she's doing now and makes that second connection with that gun, she's basically giving him a full taser ride all over again, which when you pull the trigger of a taser, the police taser, it's an automatic 5 seconds unless you turn it off. So that's what she's doing here. And that's why he's screaming, because that is excruciating. It hurts. Like, I've been tased. I've been drive stunned where during my training, they actually came up and without the probes, put the taser against you, and you know how it arcs, and drive stun me. That's super painful.
Well, yeah, it looks like she's doing it right on his spine.
Yeah. So it's on his back, center of his back, which is an appropriate place to tase somebody. So that's fine. But if the probes are still attached to him and she's giving him that second ride, I mean, he's getting that like full effect. It's not just local to the taser. It's his whole central nervous system is getting tased all over again. So that hurts. And that's why he's screaming. So for her to do that with him in handcuffs, I just wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think that is completely uncalled for. I think she's way out of line, and she's letting her emotions, we say it all the time, dictate your tactics, but she's letting her emotions really kind of dictate what's going on right now. And then what makes it worse is she is almost, I mean, she's taunting him, and she's like, "You want it again?"
Yeah.
I mean, like, the professionalism, everything completely out the window. And I just don't understand where cops think that it's okay to talk to people like that. Like, I understand getting mad, and I understand people resisting arrest or, running from you. You know, I get all of that. But when you actually get the person detained in handcuffs and it's done, like, whatever happened is done, you, as the professional, like, you have to bring it down and brush it off. Like, it's, generally speaking, it's nothing against you. It's just these people are either A, trying to get away, or B, they don't want to go to jail, and they're going to do whatever they can to try to get away from you. So, I thought behavior is kind of wild in this.
Yeah, it's definitely not professional. It's not okay. It's out of line. It's kind of sickening to watch it. I'm not okay with it at all. And she ends up pulling the gun out of his pocket and just casually just like tosses it on the hood of the car and like slides it away. One hand's on a taser. Really, at that point, no one's actually controlling him. And then her other hand's on his gun, like pushing it away. Like, this is, I don't know if she's just lost her mind or what happened in this scenario, but
when I first saw it, dude, honest to God, when I first saw this video for the first time, I legit thought it was like a parody, like someone trying to make some funny YouTube video or something. And I had to watch it again, and I'm like, no, this is real. This is not fake. It almost seems so kind of outlandish with her behavior that it almost does seem like not real. Yeah, she's in my opinion, she's out of control. And gosh, I know a lot of cops we do these videos on, they watch our videos because they'll later reach out to us.
Yeah.
and this isn't like a slander on anybody. It's just,
We're here for professionalism, and that's not a display of professionalism.
no. So she got put on admin leave. And the reason why, if anybody's wondering why there hasn't been any video release or that, nobody from the department is giving a statement, is because this is an active internal investigation and they have to keep the integrity of that at the department. And so they're not going to come out and publicly, say what happened until they're done doing their investigation, which I'm sure for this, it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of it.
The chief of that police department, Richard Black, actually came out and said he's turning over everything to the Alabama State Bureau of Investigations.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just confirms.
So there's an unbiased opinion on what happened.
Yeah. But what's interesting is we dug into this quite a bit, but it's very hard to find any real information on that department. It is a small department. It's made up of 5 police officers. Then you have a chief and then 1 civilian. So likelihood of not having a lot of backup, probably not. And then do want to point out that she was given a life-saving award at one point in her career. I couldn't find how long she's been a police officer, but they did mention that she had received a life-saving award at one point in time in her career.
Yeah.
And then a little bit further, we saw a couple days after this. So Micah, the person that was tased and arrested, he was booked in the county jail on those charges that you mentioned on a $500,000 bail. He ended up bailing out, and then he went on the news. The ABC 3340 is a news media outlet, small news media outlet out of the state of Alabama. Reached out to him, and he gave his perspective. So I want to just briefly give you a rundown of what he said. He spoke well when he was during that interview. He said that it was his friend, didn't give any information on it or his age. And he said his brother is the one that actually filmed this. He said he was 17. We're going to his aunt's house, had a flat tire, stopped to change the tire on the side of the road. She pulled up, started asking him questions and trying to get his ID. He said he knows the law. It wasn't a traffic stop. He wasn't required to give her ID, but he said he was cooperative and gave her ID. And then he said out of nowhere, he gets tased. And that's when his other friend ran from the car, supposedly running to his aunt's house. And that's when his brother pulled out the phone and started filming. That was kind of interesting. During the interview, the person giving the interview asked him specifically, do you believe this is racially biased or racially motivated? And I actually watched his body language before he answered, and his head was turning in a natural motion, like immediately in a left to right, like a no. And his response was, no, I think this is abuse of authority. So he doesn't think it's racially motivated, and he believed that it was racial or abuse of authority. And then the follow-up question was, have you had any negative encounters with law enforcement? He basically said no until now. It's an interesting interview.
Yeah. So the thing to take into account is he is an ex-felon, so he's been in the prison system. So we're not saying he's some golden child either, but I think what people need to understand is you're hearing his version of the story, which we know is going to be not 100% accurate. We know that. Her side of the story is not going to be 100% accurate. There's always the third side of the story, which is the actual truth of what happened. And honestly, in something like this, you're going to need footage of the entire thing. If it even is on footage, I don't know that this department even has body cameras. I can't tell based on this video if she's wearing one or not. So that's why I think it's important to understand that these super small agencies, above everybody, people I think sometimes discount that smaller agencies don't need as much training because maybe there's not as much action or things that go on there. I would argue they need more training than the average cop that works at a bigger, busier agency because they are not exposed to the real life busyness, I guess, of calls. And they need that extra training because when stuff like this happens, I mean, usually they tend to make the wrong decision. And, cops that work at bigger, busier departments, you're getting that real life world interaction, probably daily. So you're kind of getting the real life training on the job training, whereas these smaller agencies aren't. And so unfortunately, I think that's when you have stuff like this happening.
Well, there's been kind of a chain of effect that's happening in the town of Reform. There's been petitions with hundreds of people that have signed it to have her fired. There's also been like rallies and minor protests in the city.
I bet. I have no
calling
doubt.
for her to be actually charged with a crime.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up getting prosecuted out of this whole thing. I mean, that wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. It's hard to look at that and find reason for justification.
No, I'm not seeing it. So regardless of his background, you know, here's the other thing too, as a cop, you know, you got to use your judgment a little bit. When you're cruising down the road and you're by yourself and you come across 3 individuals and you suspect something's going on, like, I know this is a super small agency, but sometimes being a cowboy is not always the right answer. And, you know, just because you're a cop and you've got your badge and gun, I mean, there are folks who are not going to listen to you and who don't care about that and are going to hurt you or try to hurt you. So I don't know what to say other than I know this is a small agency. It looks like they're out in some rural type area.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and, you know, you can always get at people another way through either an investigation on the back end or I don't know, but to do that kind of stuff on your own just makes me like really nervous. You know, I used to work at a super small agency. That's where I started, out in a rural town where like I didn't have a whole lot of backup either, but there were times that I would come across stuff like that and I'd be like, that looks really good, but I think I'm good.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's just not worth it sometimes. So
I think overall it's not a good video.
No, it's not. It's not a good video, you know, especially in the light of we are in the law enforcement community trying to, you know, get better and make better decisions. And this doesn't do that justice.
Nope.
At all.
What do you got coming up here in the future, Kyle? Anything going on?
Well, so we do have a couple classes coming up in 2024. We're going to round off the new year in 23 in Newport Beach. And we've got that class coming up. Gosh, I think by the time this video is put out, I don't know if we're going to have been there yet, but we're going to wrap it up in Newport Beach, California. And then if anybody's interested, we've got San Pablo, Texas. Gosh, we'll be in Indiana, Pennsylvania,
New York.
Yeah, we'll be in New York.
Washington, D.C.
Yep. So we're going to be all over the country this year, coming up in 2024. If you guys want to go to any of the classes that we have coming up, it's Patrol Survival Tactics. And I'm not trying to be biased, but I really do think it's a great class in that we talk heavily on communication, you know, how to respond to a critical incident, how to make critical decisions while on a critical incident, you know, so that you're not behind the 8 ball on this stuff and can make good sound decisions and just be confident on those types of calls. And then we'll be at TAC Ops. So make sure you guys go to tacticalconference.com. There's those 3 conferences a year. Those are fantastic. And then of course, if you do want to take our class, savagetraininggroup.com, make sure you guys get signed up. Other than that, I mean, we don't want to beat a dead horse on this video.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm freezing. I'm
freaking freezing too.
Yeah, it's so cold in here.
Yeah.
Like my feet are all curled in. I have my sweatshirt hanging over my legs. It is.
Yeah, it's cool. We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's
usually
going on.
It's pretty warm in here where it's like comfortable.
Yeah.
Like this is very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So we're going to get going and we're going to
see you later.
Huddle up together and get warm. So we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys got something in mind, send it to us on Instagram, Shots Fired Podcast Official. We'll get back to you. Thanks again. And see you on the next one.